I'm going to show you how I painted this detailed Nemo from Finding Nemo. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe right now and click that bell for notifications. So with that being said, I want you to enjoy the process and let's get right to it. So I'm starting this painting off with a blank white canvas and that baby blue paint that I like to use and that I used with Simba, with Piglet, and with Winnie the Pooh just recently. And now I'm sketching out Nemo with that white charcoal pencil that I like to use. And when I was sketching it out, I found that the paint was kind of still a little wet and that pencil was digging into it a little bit. So I had to call an audible. I had to switch up what I was doing. And so I just figured I'll just paint Nemo's figure instead of drawing him first and then painting it. I'm just gonna paint it and then just make sure I got everything in the right place. Now you can see this is a very, very rough sketch painting. You can see I'm just getting the values in there at this point. And my choice of color, there wasn't really anything to it except I still had some purple and white paint sitting out on the plate that I pour my paint onto, and I didn't want to waste it. And so that's the reason you see me, you know, Nemo's orange, but you see me using purple right now. And I'm using purple right now, trust me, it'll get there. I'm just using purple right now to help me define the values, where I need to have it darker, where I need to have it lighter. And I'm using that as my roadmap. And I use my acrylic paint markers to draw in those bubbles right there. Real simple, just drew them in, just drew those circles, different sizes, but it gives you that bubble effect. And it gives this Nemo painting just a little bit more flavor to it. And now I just did a very, very light wash of orange color. So I just had orange acrylic paint on my palette, and I mixed some water and just did a really light wash. Now I wanted to go with some stronger yellow and orange colors. And so I mixed white to make it stronger, I use white, but to make it darker, I use reds and browns to make the orange darker. And make the orange lighter, I use the yellows and the whites. And so you can see where that difference is. The front part of the head, where that nose is that kind of nose that he has is coming out, that's yellow with white and orange. Some of those background colors that you see, or those deeper, darker colors, it's brown, red with orange mixed in there. And so you can see I'm defining where those, I'm covering up where it was dark with that purple, covering it up with that darker color for Nemo's, for those tones. And you can see the variation where he goes from light to dark. You can see that. Now I'm using that white paint marker to come in and get that fin, like the tips of the fins, and just those parts, those stripes, the lighter parts of the stripes. I don't want to do the darker part of the stripes with that white marker. That white marker is too light. So now you can see I'm putting in the darker parts, the shadow parts of the white stripes. And with that color, I used white mixed with a little bit of black and some purple. And now I'm doing the outline of the black stripe parts of Nemo with that black paint marker. So you can see I'm going through now and just getting in those dark, those black colors. And so that really is now making it stand out more. You can see the back end of Nemo is standing out a lot more than it was before. And now the middle part of the body, the upper part, that fin on the top, all that is coming to life now because I'm getting in those final details on the body. And that's with the acrylic paint marker. And then I drew in the mouth. Now I'm getting in some details on those fins and getting in those sharp lines of it's like a brownish red color. I'm using this acrylic paint marker, and I have a link in the comment section. Sorry, I have a link in the description section below of where you can get those markers from. You can just click on the link, it sends you right to Amazon if you want to buy them. And so anyways, I'm continuing with these paint markers to get in this final detail. A lot of the shadowing that I did earlier, I can't do it that well with those paint markers. The paint markers are kind of just that color. I haven't yet learned how to blend those in. So I did a lot of my blending first with the paintbrush and acrylic paint on those paintbrushes. And then now I'm getting in those colors, those solid colors with my paint markers. So you can see I'm getting in the detail in the eyes now. And I got a little bit of color variation. You know, you could blend those paint markers well when they let out some paint and then it's still wet, and you can smear it with your hand or smear it with the next paint marker you're gonna bring in. And so that's what I was doing right there for the eyes. So just getting in those final touches now, getting in some final details throughout the body, those little fins, and getting in some of that brown outline. You can see, but it all just came together. And you can see the final product, Nemo. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.